Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. Welcome back to my English classroom with me, Mrs. Rini Rianti. Today's class, we are talking about analytical exposition text. What is analytical exposition text? Let us see the following explanation. Analytical exposition text is a text that evaluates the topic critically but focuses only one side of an argument. Jadi, analytical exposition text adalah sebuah teks yang berisi pembahasan isu atau permasalahan yang penting untuk dibahas atau didiskusikan. Biasanya penulis akan memberikan beberapa argumen. Mereka bisa pro atau kontra terhadap sesuatu, namun mereka hanya mengambil one side of an argument, tidak keduanya. Do you understand? Well, let us continue. The arguments and point of view in the analytical exposition text have to be supported by fact and relevant information. Artinya, ketika seseorang sedang menyampaikan sebuah analytical exposition, misalnya dalam sebuah speech, maka mereka tidak hanya memberikan argumen, tetapi juga harus memberikan fakta-fakta serta informasi yang relevan to support their arguments. Let us see the social function or purpose of analytical exposition text. What is the purpose or social functions of analytical exposition text? The purpose is to persuade your audience to look an issue with your perspective. Tujuannya yaitu untuk mempengaruhi audiens, bisa itu the listeners or the readers, untuk apa? Untuk setuju dengan argumen-argumen yang diberikan. Nah, kalian bisa menemukan analytical exposition text pada letter, speech, editorials, essays, and newspaper articles. Every text has generic structures. Berikut ini adalah generic structures dari analytical exposition. The first is title. It tells about the topic. The next one, we have thesis. It states the thesis statement of the text. Thesis consists of background issue. Thesis statement juga merupakan inti yang akan dibahas dalam teks tersebut. Next is arguments. The viewpoints with factual data like graph, pictures, charts, surveys, and etc. Seperti yang sudah disampaikan di awal video, arguments itu harus disupport atau diberikan supporting details dengan data yang berupa fakta, seperti grafik, gambar, hasil survei, hasil riset, atau berita. So, you need to support your arguments about something. Dan arguments di sini tidak hanya satu, karena untuk meyakinkan pembaca tentang thesis statement, harus disertai 2 atau lebih argumen. We have conclusion in the last paragraph. Conclusion itu biasanya reiterations atau restatement of the thesis statement. Jadi, kita meyakinkan lagi berupa kesimpulan dari isu yang dibahas. Well, everyone, that's all the generic structures of analytical exposition text. We have title, thesis, arguments, and conclusion. Now, let us see the language features of analytical exposition text. The first is use the present tense. Kenapa menggunakan present tense? Karena banyak membicarakan fakta. The second, use mental verbs. For example, I believe, I prefer, I agree, I doubt. Mental verbs ini digunakan untuk restating your arguments. agar orang-orang itu setuju dengan argumen kamu. And the third, use saying verbs. For example, people say, it is said, research indicates. We use another information to support our arguments. Kita bisa menggunakan pendapat orang lain atau riset seperti ini. People say that blah blah blah. The next, use connecting words. For example, in addition, moreover, furthermore, besides, firstly, however. The next is use causal conjunction. Ini adalah kata penghubung yang menyatakan sebab akibat. For example, because, consequently, due to. Well, do you understand? Well, everyone, let us see the example of analytical exposition text. Motorbike should be banned in housing area. It is the title of the text. Ini adalah judul dari teksnya. Let us see the first paragraph. And then the first paragraph called Introduction. Motorbikes are a nuisance and a cause for great distress. Even motorbikes are considered as the most convenient form of transportation. I think they are a hazard to humans, animals, as well as the environment. Nah, bagian ini, I think motorbikes should be banned in housing areas due to the following reasons: cause of unreasonable amount of noise, air pollution, disease, and accident. Kalimat ini merupakan thesis statement. The second paragraph is argument. Paragraf yang kedua disebut argumen. First of all, I would like to point out that motorbike are major contributor to the pollution in the world. Ini adalah argumen yang terdapat di paragraf yang kedua. Dan untuk kalimat research has shown that motorbikes emit a deadly gas that is dangerous for environment. Consequently, long-term emissions of gas from motorbikes is a major contributor of global warming since daily. Bagian ini merupakan supporting details. Let us see the next paragraph. Secondly, according to report from BBC News Channel, motorbikes are also responsible for causing diseases such as bronchitis, cancer, and are a major trigger of asthma and high blood pressure. Some of the diseases are so ghastly that they can kill people. BBC News 2009. Paragraf ini disebut argumen, di mana argumennya diperkuat oleh fakta dan data. Furthermore, motorbikes create so much noise. There is vroom vroom noise everywhere. It is extremely difficult to sleep. Parents with infants find it extremely challenging. The moment their babies fall asleep, one or other motorbike passes by and the baby wakes up. It is also arduous for children to concentrate on their homework. Experts are of opinion that if there is extreme noise, it can lead to deafness and lack of concentration in children and adults. Field, 1993. Bagian ini juga merupakan argumen. Finally, motorbikes are responsible for horrible accidents. In some cases, there are deaths. Motorbikes riders go so fast that they are unable to stop on time, thus they end up hitting other people or animals. Many times, a lot of animals are trampled and found dead on the road. Motorbikes are known to be the biggest killers on the road. Field, 1993. Bagian ini merupakan argumen yang keempat. And then, in conclusion, from the arguments above, I strongly believe that motorbikes should be banned from housing areas. Bagian ini merupakan conclusion atau restating the thesis statement. Nah, sekarang kita lihat language features-nya. Paragraf 1, kita bisa melihat ada kalimat motorbikes are a nuisance and a cause for great distress. Bagian ini merupakan ciri kebahasaan yang namanya simple present tense. Kemudian masih di paragraf 1, kita bisa melihat ada kalimat I think motorbikes should be banned in housing area. Kata I think ini merupakan mental verbs. Kemudian selanjutnya paragraf 2 ada kata first of all. Selanjutnya ada secondly, furthermore, finally. Ini merupakan connecting words. Kata consequently yang berada di paragraf kedua ini merupakan causal conjunction, di mana causal conjunction merupakan kata penghubung yang menyatakan sebab akibat. Well, everyone, that's all the lesson for today. See you again in the next video. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.